Good afternoon. Today I'm reading another favorite book of mine. It's called A Chair for My Mother. It's by Vera Williams. It was once a Reading Rainbow selection. I used to read it to my daughter when they were little because I was also a single mom, and this story always moved me. It's called A Chair for My Mother. My mother works as a waitress in the Blue Tile Diner. After school, sometimes I go to meet her there. Then her boss, Josephine, gives me a job to do. I wash the salts and peppers and fill the ketchups. One time I peeled all the onions for onion soup. When I finish, Josephine says, "Good work, honey," and pays me. And every time I put half of my money into a jar. I love the illustrations in this book. The blue is my favorite. And this is the original book I had that I used to read to my daughter. It takes a long time to fill a jar this big. Every day when my mother comes home from work, I take down the jar. My mama empties all her change from tips out of her purse for me to count. Then we push all the coins into the jar. Sometimes my mama is laughing when she comes home from work, and sometimes she's so tired she falls asleep while I count money out into piles. Some days she has lots of tips, and some days she has only a little. Then she looks worried, but every single shiny coin goes into the jar. We sit in the kitchen to count the tips. Usually Grandma sits with us too. While we count, she likes to hum. Often she has money in her old leather wallet for us. Whenever she gets a good bargain on tomatoes or bananas or something she buys, she puts by the savings and they go into the jar. When we can't get a single other coin into the jar, we are going to take out all the money and go and buy a chair. Yes, a chair, a wonderful, beautiful, soft, fat armchair. We will get one covered in velvet with roses all over it. We are going to get the best chair in the whole world. That is because our old chairs burned up. There was a big fire in our other house and all our other chairs burned, and so did our sofa, and so did everything else. That wasn't such a long time ago. My mother and I were coming home from buying new shoes. I had new sandals and she had new pumps. We were walking to our house from the bus. We were looking at everyone's tulips. She was saying she liked the red tulips and I was saying I liked the yellow ones. Then we came to our block. Right outside our house stood two big fire engines. I could see lots of smoke. Tall orange flames came out on the roof. All the neighbors stood in a bunch across the street. Mama grabbed my hand and we ran. Uncle Sandy saw us and ran to us. Mama yelled, "Where's Mother?" I yelled, "Where's Grandmother?" My Aunt Ida waved and shouted, she's here, she's okay, don't worry." Grandma was right. Our cat was safe too, though it took a while to find her. But everything else in our whole house was spoiled. What was left of the house was turned to charcoal and ashes. We went to stay with our mother's sister, Aunt Ida, and Uncle Sandy. Then we were able to move into an apartment downstairs. We painted the walls yellow. The floors were all shiny, but the rooms were empty. This is their burned out house. The first day we moved in, the neighbors brought pizza and cake and ice cream. Then they brought a lot of other things too. The family across the street brought a table and 3 kitchen chairs. The very old man next door gave us a bed from when his children were little. My other grandpa brought us his beautiful rug. My mother's older sister Sally had made us red and white curtains. Mama's boss Josephine brought pots and pans, silverware and dishes. My cousin brought me her own stuffed bear. Everyone clapped when my grandma made a speech. "You are all the kindest people," she said. And we thank you very, very much. It's lucky we're young and can start all over. That was last year, but we still have no sofa and no big chairs. When Mama comes home, her feet hurt. There's no good place for me to take a load off my feet, she says. When Grandma wants to sit back and hum and cut up potatoes, she has to get as comfortable as she can on a hard kitchen chair. And that is how come Mama brought home the biggest jar she could find at the diner, and all of the coins started going into the jar. Now the jar is too heavy for me to lift down. Uncle Sandy gave me a quarter. He had to boost me up so I could put it in. There's the jar full of coins. After supper, Mama and Grandma and I stood in front of the jar. Well, I never would have believed it, but I guess it's full, Mama said. My mother brought home little paper wrappers for the nickels and the dimes and the quarters. I counted them all out and wrapped them all up. On my mother's day off, we took all the coins to the bank. The bank exchanged them for $10 bills, and then we took the bus downtown to shop for our chair. I remember sometimes having to collect coins as a single mom and put them in little paper wrappers and take them to the bank until they got the Coinstar machines at the store. That does it for you. We shopped through 4 furniture stores. We tried out big chairs and smaller ones, high chairs and low chairs, soft chairs and harder ones. Grandma said she felt like Goldilocks in the 3 Bears, trying out all the chairs. Finally, we found the chair we were all dreaming of, and the money in the jar was enough to pay for it. We called Aunt Ida and Uncle Sandy. They came right down in their pickup truck to drive the chair home for us. They knew we couldn't wait for it to be delivered. I tried out our chair in the back of the truck. Mama wouldn't let me sit there while we drove, but they let me sit in it while they carried it up to the door. We set the chair right beside the window with the red and white curtains. Grandma and Mama and I all sat in it while Aunt Ida took our picture. Now, Grandma sits in it and talks with people going by in the daytime. Mama sits down and watches the news on TV when she comes home from her job. After supper, I sit with her, and she can reach right up and turn out the light if I fall asleep in her lap. And that's the end. When I would read this to my daughter, I would always feel the part where the community comes together to support a family who's struggling. And I feel like that's a lot of what we're doing right now with our families all across the United States who are struggling. And that is what we should continue to do. I haven't read this book in years, but it was a book that we read a lot and that we dreamed by and that we identified with as a single mom and a daughter who didn't make very much money. Thank you. Bye.